Today's Bible story is the story, Jesus is Alive. What's that, Francis John? You've decided to have a chocolate Easter egg for breakfast? Well, I suppose that makes a change from honey. But you were a bit disappointed when you opened it because instead of lots of little bits of honeycomb inside, it was empty. Oh dear. Never mind, I'm sure you'll make up for it later. Well, thinking of things that are empty, our story today is all about what happened when Mary Magdalene found Jesus' tomb was empty. Are you ready for our story today? The story, Jesus is Alive.
Early on the Sunday morning, Mary Magdalene went to the tomb. She saw that the large stone was moved away from the entrance. So she ran to Peter and John and said, "They've taken Jesus out of the tomb. We don't know where they've put him." So Peter and John ran to the tomb. John ran faster than Peter and reached the tomb first, but he did not go in. Then Peter finally reached the tomb and went in. He saw the pieces of linen lying there that had been wrapped around Jesus' body. Then John went in. He saw what had happened and believed. Peter and John then went back. But Mary stood outside the tomb crying. While she was crying, she saw an angel dressed in white. The angel asked her, "Woman, why are you crying?" Mary answered, "They took away the body of Jesus, and I don't know where they put him." When Mary said this, she turned around and saw Jesus standing there, but she did not recognize him. He asked her, "Woman, why are you crying? Who are you looking for?" She thought he was the gardener, so she said to him, "Did you take him away, sir? Tell me where you put him. I will go and get him." Jesus said to her, "Mary." She turned towards him and said in Aramaic, "Rabboni," which means teacher. Jesus said to her, "You don't need to hold on to me. I've not yet gone back up to God the Father. But go to my disciples and tell them this. I'm going back to my Father and your Father. I'm going back to my God and your God." Mary Magdalene went to the disciples and told them, "I saw Jesus." And she told them what Jesus had said to her. That same evening the disciples were together. They had the doors locked because they were afraid of the Jewish leaders. Suddenly Jesus was standing there among them. He said, "Peace be with you." As soon as he said this, he showed them his hands and his side. When the disciples saw Jesus, they were overjoyed.
We heard in our story how even though he'd been killed on a cross and buried in a tomb, Jesus came back to life again. Mary Magdalene was the first person to see Jesus after he came back to life, and Jesus gave her the special job of telling all his friends that he was now alive. I wonder how Mary must have felt, thinking that she would never see Jesus again, and then to find he was now alive. You may like to close your eyes and think about that now. I'm going to say a prayer, and if you'd like to make it your prayer too, please say amen at the end after me. Dear God, thank you that Jesus is now alive. Help me to understand the message of new life and hope that Easter brings. Amen. What's that, Francis John? You found out that if you put cereal inside half a chocolate egg and then add milk, it makes the cereal go all chocolatey. You think you might add some honey as well. I'm not sure about the honey, but I like the idea of making some Easter egg chocolate cereal. Well, thank you for joining us for the story Jesus is Alive. We look forward to you joining us again soon. Goodbye and God bless.